Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. We're browning up a pound of ground beef with about a half a cup of chopped onion. Now once your ground beef is browned and your onions are sauteed, put in a package of your favorite taco seasoning. This is 1 ounce. So if you have your own homemade taco seasoning, which I'm out of, just use about 1 ounce or flavor it to however you like it. But the recipe calls for 1 package. And then put you just a little dash of water in there. And just warm that through. We've got our ground beef and our onions and our taco seasoning mix. We got all that done. So all we need now is a half a cup of your Jiffy all-purpose baking mix. Now I know a lot of y'all remember Jiffy. I remember it. I used to use it all the time. You can make this. There's recipes to make this Jiffy baking mix homemade. And I'm thinking that was probably one of my first things I may have done is making all-purpose baking mix. But if y'all would like to see me do that again, just let me know in the comments. But because of the video and because of us cooking with my Jiffy cookbook, I had my daughter pick me up a box of Jiffy all-purpose baking mix. So I'll be using this and get it used up. And then if I need more, I'll just make my own homemade. But if you're in a pinch, you don't have time to make your homemade this and homemade that, Jiffy has always been there for us. So we just need a half a cup. This is going to come together really quick too. This is an easy meal that can come together pretty quick for women or men that are on the go. So you need a half a cup of your Jiffy mix. You know, especially when you're working or you got a bunch of kids. You got kids that are in ball games and just doing stuff. Even if you're homeschooling, you are a busy mama. And sometimes having stuff like this for lunches, I mean, that you can throw together, you know, it's still even better than frozen processed food. Okay. So I need to put my 2 eggs. And then I've got a cup of milk. Not a lot of ingredients. You would probably pretty much have everything you needed. Let me grab me a whisk. You know, parents that homeschool their kids, sometimes we forget they've got to come up with lunches too. So it's just stuff like this that you can throw together, and you can double this recipe too. It seems like to me that the liquid is pretty thin, but that's what it calls for, a half a cup of the baking mix, 2 eggs, and 1 cup of milk. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I used to make this, but it's been years, years since I've made it. I can't even remember last time I made it, except the kids were probably young and at home. And I don't understand why it is that sometimes we forget about this stuff. I think as the kids grow up and leave the house, there's certain things you just don't make anymore, I guess. So if you're only using half a cup, and you're not having to double it, this is a 40 ounce, 2 pound, 8 ounce box. It'll last you a good while. Okay, I got my oven heated to 400. In fact, I need to check it. Go ahead and put it up there. 400. Now, this is going to be easy. I've got it calls for a 9-inch baking dish that's been sprayed. Mine is a 9.5 deep dish. I'm going to put it in my pie pan, which it'll work. And all you're going to do is after you sprayed it, is you're just going to put your taco meat in there. This is so easy, y'all. And I'm making this exactly the way that the recipe says. Now there's different things that I would probably add to it or do differently, but we're going it straight by the recipe. Okay. Now we got the recipe calls for a 4.5 ounce can of your mild green chilies. Anymore, it's not 4.5 ounces, it's a 4 ounce. So we're going to spread that over the top. That says how to do it. And it smells so good. And what this will remind you kind of, Mr. Brown and I love homemade tamales. And because it just will have kind of that taste to it. It's not a tamale. It's called an Impossible Taco Bake. But it just has that really neat taste to it. Okay, now all we got to do is pour the mixture over the top. Just make sure you get it in there evenly. Now what I would have done is probably before I poured this over top, I would have sprinkled the top with cheese, but the recipe doesn't say to do that. It wants you to put cheese on after it's cooked. So let's get this in the oven. Some of that baking mix didn't get. But let's get this in the oven and get it cooked up. It was that easy, that many few ingredients, and like I said, if you want to make this your own, just put in what you think might be good in there. Put you some cheese before you put in the oven or whatever. But we're going to get this in the oven and get it baked up. Then we're going to get our corn fritters mixed up. Next is our Jiffy corn fritters. If you got the book, it's on page 6. Very few ingredients. It's 1 package of your Jiffy corn muffin mix. And you need 2 beaten eggs. Oh, maybe 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And you need 1/4 cup of sour cream. And you need 8 ounces of just a can of whole kernel corn, drained. I think my can was 15 ounces. It was a can, probably great value, that I've had in the pantry for a while. And we're going to go ahead and use them. Okay, we're just going to stir this up. And it will be thick. I've got a video of making homemade hush puppies. And if I think about it, I'll put that link down below. This is corn fritters. But I've also made hush puppies out of the Jiffy corn muffin mix too. Now it makes a sweet hush puppy. So if you don't like a sweet hush puppy, you wouldn't want to use a Jiffy. But corn fritters, any of them that I've ever made homemade or ate out somewhere, they were always a little sweet. And I think that's what makes them so good. And I know a lot of people that will eat their corn fritters with a little bit of maple syrup or pancake syrup or maybe a little sorghum. And some people just like eating them with ketchup. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. It does need to thicken up a little bit before we start making our fritters. You always need to let them sit just a little bit. I'm going to clean my mess up. I'm going to check the taco bake. And we'll be back in just a minute. I've got about 1.5 inches of water. Oh, sorry y'all. Kind of losing my mind there. And I use peanut oil. I know a lot of people don't like to use peanut oil, but we don't eat a lot of fried foods. So when I'm frying up something like this or fried chicken, I use peanut oil because I think it tastes the best. So just to be honest with you, that's what I'm using. But you can use any kind of oil that you like to fry with. But like I said, everything is in moderation, so I don't worry about it. You want to cook them about 1 to 2 minutes. Your oil needs to be about 350. And as you add more to it, of course your oil is going to cool down. You want to use probably just about a tablespoon of batter. Miss Lori's done eating on these corn fritters and they are larping. I don't know why I've waited so many years of making these. I guess because I know that we'd eat them up. But you know what? I think me and Mr. Brown can't eat all these. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to cook them up. And ones we don't eat, I'm going to cool them down. I'm going to throw them in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer. And when we're eating something that we might want some corn fritters with, I'll take some out and just let them thaw out at room temperature. Then I'll throw them in either the air fryer or stick them in the oven and heat them up just a little bit. It'll be about that easy, and we'll have our own corn fritters. When I was cooking in the kitchen cafeteria at school back in the day, oh, it's been lots of years ago. Let me show y'all. This is the one that I bit into, and I'm fixing to eat the whole thing. But make sure that you get it cooked through and through, or your batter will be won't be done in the middle. But these are delicious, y'all. Larpin'. But we cooked there for a while, probably once a month. We had corn fritters, but they were not homemade. They were ordered off the truck. I think it was Cisco or Benny Keith, I can't remember. And we'd fry those up for the kids. The teachers loved them. But they were the best corn fritters, not being homemade. They were really good. And a lot of the kids really liked them. And my grandkids, I don't even know if I've ever made these for my grandkids yet. And I'm thinking most of them like corn. And they love cornbread. And I'm thinking they'd really enjoy these. So I need to go back to making them. I'm going to cook the rest of these up. Like I said, make sure you cook them 1 to 2 minutes on each side. Don't get your grease too hot. And I'm going to probably eat a few of them. Mr. Brown's not here right now. When he comes in, he'll be tasting. I know he's going to like them. And then I'm going to let them cool down, what we don't eat, and I'm going to stick them in the freezer. These things are so light and fluffy. Crunchy on the outside. So good. Y'all have to make these. You will love them. Jiffy corn fritters. Okay, our taco bake is done, and right before I took it out, I went ahead and put my cheese over the top because I like my cheese to be melted. So we done that. It's about that easy, and it looks delicious. So let's cut us a piece, and then we'll put whatever kind of toppings we want on it. Okay, let's get us some out on a plate. And it tells you just to garnish it with lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, sour cream, just whatever. I mean, y'all, I don't have any tomatoes, but I do have some. Well, that looks good. I'm going to turn this around. That's hot. But the middle of it, it's all set up. But I've got some salsa that I made. I had a bunch of, like, at the end of your garden, you've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I had some of Danny's jalapenos and bell peppers. I had a few tomatoes. And I just whizzed them up with garlic and cumin and stuff and just made me a little salsa, and I just keep it in the refrigerator. You can also ferment this for a while if you want to, and it'll be better for you, for your gut. But anyways, that's what it looks like. And we're fixing to taste it. But just garnish it with whatever you want to. If you want a little bit of lettuce, tomato, onion, cilantro. But this is a good, easy, very few ingredients, frugal Jiffy meal. Jiffy was always known for that. I'm going to put me just a little bit of sauce on here since I don't have any tomatoes. Cut me up a few black olives because I do like black olives. And then we're going to get us just a little bit of sour cream. Put on top. And that is our vintage Jiffy taco bake. Can't wait to taste this. This is something that I've not made in years either. It's really good, y'all. So easy, so frugal. Like I said, that's what Jiffy's known for. A little bit of guacamole on the side. And you've got a meal here that was so simple. I love black olives. I hope y'all like this recipe. and the corn fritters. Absolutely delicious. 2 easy recipes out of our Jiffy cookbook. Our little pamphlet that has given us so many recipes throughout the years. They never seem to fail you, do they? You can make so many different things out of this Jiffy cookbook. And like I said, if you don't want to buy Jiffy or any other baking mix from the store, there's recipes online where you can make your own. Whew, can't see out of my glasses. So I hope you're all having a beautiful day, or you had a beautiful day. We're supposed to get some more rain tomorrow. And me and Mr. Brown's been busy outside. We got my greenhouse cleaned up and some of my fruit trees cut back. So we've been busy. So I'm going to leave a screenshot of both of these recipes. But I'm just going to name off some. I'll go to the back here. I mean, this little book looks so little, but I'm telling y'all, there's so many recipes in here. Let's see. Apple cinnamon cheesecake muffins, apple cinnamon chip cookies, apple raisin muffins, apple streusel coffee cake, Belgian waffles, blueberry buckle, breakfast biscuits, breakfast casserole, breakfast quiche, Cajun batter mix, cheese biscuits, clover rolls, coffee cake, cream puffs, donut holes, fry batter, ham and cheese tarts, impossible taco bake, impossible vegetable quiche, Jiffy tortillas, lemon bars muffins, oatmeal muffins. Do y'all want me to keep on? The list goes on and on and on. If y'all want me to do any more recipes out of this book, as time goes on, I will. But this was just one of the cookbooks that was sent to me. And it's just one of those tried and true recipe books. And since we're doing cooking from my cookbooks, and there was a big just overall response to wanting me to do a couple recipes out of this. And some of y'all even found this book after me showing it, and some of y'all already had it. So I think that's wonderful. So anyways, I hope y'all have enjoyed so far cooking from my cookbooks. Some of the cookbooks are going to be my old cookbooks. Some will just be a little vintage, and then some's going to be a little bit newer cookbooks. So, and a lot of them are going to be cookbooks that y'all have gifted me. But y'all have got to try both these recipes if you've not ever made them. Keep your box of baking mix in your pantry, or like I said, make your own, because there's so much that you can do with it. Make really good tasting meals that didn't cost a lot and was quick and easy to make up. I think Mr. Brown really liked this too. So we'll see y'all in a few days. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. We'll see y'all next week. Not sure what we'll be doing. We'll be doing something on this homestead. So God bless everybody. Remember how much God loves you. And remember how much we love you too. And we appreciate y'all so, so much. I'm going to leave a link down below. I believe in supporting our local businesses. And see, some of our businesses are side businesses that some of our working men and women do on the side to help make ends meet, to make them extra money for living expenses, or maybe for Christmas or something like that. So I've got a friend that I worked with, Miss Becky, in the cafeteria, and she's set up to make aprons and totes, and I think even just different things. I'll have to get on there and really look and talk to her about it. But anyways, she's made up some Whippoorwill Holler shopping totes, and I'm going to show you one. And I'll leave the link below if you're interested in one, and helping to support our local businesses and our working men and women that work so hard and have side businesses just to help them to get through. So let me go get my tote and I'm going to show you. Now this is the size tote that I have. And she's got one that's even just a little bit bigger. But isn't it cute? Faith, sustainability, and simple life. And of course it says established 1980. That was the year that we got married and established our own homestead. Whippoorwill, Holler. And on the back it says keeper of the old ways. Now I want you to look. I use this so much that it's got ink spots on it now because I take this shopping with me, I take it to church with me, I take it everywhere. So, if you are interested in Miss Lori's Whippoorwill Holler tote, there'll be a link below, down below the video in my description box. Just click on it and check it out. And thank y'all so much for just being good, honest people, and just thank you for helping each other and supporting each other. I've seen a lot of it here lately with all the hurricane and fires and tornadoes and you name it. It shows you how good people really are, and we love y'all. So God bless. We'll see y'all in a couple of days.
Better